A quick sound check. If you could give me a quick sound check and visual confirmation, that would be great. And if you could give me a quick visual confirmation, that would be great. This is going to be a little unique. This is the first time I've used this technology, and I'm going to have to kind of toggle back and forth a little bit because I can't see. Give me a second. I'm going to see if I can kind of adjust this a little bit just so I can see a little bit of what's coming through in the chat. I don't want to miss anything, but we're going to dive right in. As long as everybody can see my screen and hear my voice, then we should be good. So, all right, I'm going to minimize this and I'm going to roll. We're going to roll because we have a lot I want to cover. And again, this is the first time I've kind of used this technology. But I'm gonna roll with this. So and I'm gonna dive right into the markets in a second here. I do have some questions I want you to ponder though. All right, I'm glad you're here. I'm gonna introduce myself in a second. My name is Tyson Clayton. I am Market Trader Institute's product expert. But before I go into kind of the details of who I am and why I think I'm qualified to be here talking about the markets, I want to ask you a couple questions, and I make some assumptions with these questions. My first question is: have you ever wondered, can you, not just Joe Blow, but can you make life-changing or life-enhancing money in the currency markets or in the financial markets? Let's call it. And in my opinion, the answer is yes, and I think that you guys, everybody in here, would answer yes, or else you wouldn't be here, right? I think it's pretty much that simple. I believe that every person in this room has what I call the trader seed. It's that desire to make the money you have now and the money you're going to make in the future work harder for you. And as long as you're able to do those things, or if you're able to accomplish that, then I think then you can eventually do the things you want to do in life. So if you've ever wondered that, and I think everybody here probably has, you're in the right spot. And I'm glad you're here because I've got a lot of things that I want to cover today. The main things are these three kind of bullet points. It's how do you start making money today? And what I really want you to do is I want you to think about today. I don't want you to think about, oh, how do I make money next week, or how do I make money next month or next year? It's how do I make money today? How do I start making money now? And then I'm going to show you a simple strategy. In fact, it's kind of one of those strategies that I look back in my history of trading, and I really wish I could rewind and say, and just learn this strategy, simply because this is an amazing strategy. But I've spent 17 years of my trading career, essentially trying to master this business. And what I'm going to show you today is a very simple yet powerful strategy. You don't have to do any of the analysis that I've been doing, any of the things that I've been, doing for pretty much my entire life. You can do this in a very simple, straightforward way. And I'm going to show you all this with what's called the leveling strategy. And if you decide that currency trading, that trading in general is for you, one of the biggest recommendations that I can give you as a 17-year trading veteran is understand what this powerful indicator I'm about to show you is saying. And do not buy unless it says buy, and do not sell unless it says sell. If you don't learn anything from today, then that is one of the most valuable things you can do, because it is one of the most powerful indicators you will ever see. And so I want to kind of introduce ourselves. For those that may not know, we are Market Trader Institute. We are essentially the world leader in financial education in the currency markets and stocks and options. We're going to talk specifically today about the currency markets. We have thousands and thousands of students worldwide that are essentially with us, that have learned how to trade with us. And the thing that we always say is we never leave a student behind. So we don't just teach students how to trade and say, hey, here you go, here's a great strategy. We teach students how to trade, and then we hold their hands and we guide them. Because this business is very simple. And here's another thing, if you don't learn anything today, this is another thing you might want to write down, which is pretty simple. If you can learn how to trade, and if all you have to do is find those that are really, really good at this business. It's this simple. Find those who are really good, and then over time start to mimic what they do. And if you do that, if you mimic what the professionals do and you're able to master what they've mastered, then over time you will eventually accomplish all your financial goals. And so today, again, I'm going to show you one of those strategies that I believe pretty much everybody in here should learn how to master. It's called leveling. These are some of the students that have mastered this. Gavin, up 280 pips. Some of you might not even know what is a pip. I'm not sure what a pip is. I'm going to explain that today. 572 pips here. Marina taking some nice trades, up 201 pips here, made $1,000 right here in one trade. Just absolutely great trades. We get testimonials like this every single day. In fact, the strategy I'm going to show you in a second, we get flooded with testimonials. Joshua Martinez is the mastermind behind the strategy I'm going to show you today, and he gets absolutely bombarded with testimonials from students that are just knocking it out of the park and changing their lives. Now, again, my name is Tyson Clayton. I'm Market Trader Institute's product expert, Forex mastermind. Very, very happy to be here for a few reasons. One, because I'm a trader. I love this business. I've seen a whole lot in this business. I've seen the hard times and I've seen the good times. And I'm here for one reason, and that's to help students and help individuals learn how to trade successfully. And I've been through a whole lot in this business. I've helped train thousands of investors. I've made thousands of investments myself. But as a full-time trader, I am very blessed to be able to have a talent in something where I can be in front of students and show them the ways that I trade and the ways that I generate income. And it's great because I know that if students can master the ways that I trade, which I'm going to show you a lot today, then over time you can accomplish all the things that I've accomplished in this business. And it's absolutely very, very exciting to be here. Now, I do want you to think, again, I can't see, I gotta kind of toggle back and forth because of some of the technology. When I use my second screen, it makes things kind of jumbled up a little bit. I don't want that to happen. So I can't see a whole lot of your answers if you're typing stuff in. But what I do want you to think about is this, and I want you to figure out, maybe write it down if you'd like, or you could type it in if you'd like to. I can't see, I don't want to toggle back and forth. I can see, you know, I can see them right in here, but what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to type in or write down, if you could, write down the reason, the number one reason you're here. Right? I mean, it's different for everybody, right? It's different. You have a different reason than the person that's in this room also. You have a different reason than maybe your next door neighbor's on. What is your reason? And it might be because you want financial freedom. It might be because you want to learn how to manage your own money. It might be because you want to, I call it create the FU fund. And no, I don't mean the vulgar FU. I mean the forget you fund, right? The fund that you can basically set up and say, you know what? It doesn't really matter who gets elected. It doesn't really matter who, what happens to the economy. As long as I know that there's a market open, I can generate income. So what I'd like you to think about is, what is the number one reason you're here? And why is it important to you? And then how will that help you and your family? And so I make a lot of assumptions, and especially when I'm doing presentations, I normally do most of my presentations in front of Market Trader Institute students. And so it's an honor to kind of be in front of non-students right now. My hopes is that you guys decide that you want to learn how to trade and invest with us, with the best, and we can guide you down that path. Now, my assumption is this. This is a pretty bold assumption, but I'm going to make it anyway because I think I have yet to be wrong on this. I believe every single person in this room is here because you're going to trade. Now, you might say, well, duh. Yeah, obviously, Tyson, I'm going to trade. No, I mean that. I want you to think about this. This business is amazing for those that know what they're doing, but it's absolutely horrible for those that don't. And I could say that because I've been around the block. If you don't trade with if you trade without education, you are probably going to fail in this business. But let me tell you, I'll be the first person to tell you this. Because you're here, right? Because you're here, you have what's called the trader seed. I call it the trader seed. And let me tell you, that seed never goes away. I traded for 4 years before I even thought about becoming a professional. Actually, I thought about it a lot, but I thought I was a professional, and I had no clue what it looked like to be a professional. For 4 years, all I did, my first 4 years of my career, all I did literally was give money back to the markets. That's all I did. That's all I did. Yet I thought I knew what I was doing. And what I realized is, how in the world can I be successful if I don't know what success looks like? I didn't know any other successful traders. Here's one thing that I recommend all of you doing. And by the end of this presentation, I'm going to give you the ability to be able to do this. If you want to be good in this business, then you better make sure that you have a couple successful traders in your speed dial. Because there is no way, I don't know of any successful doctors, lawyers, business people, anything like that, executives that don't have other successful executives, doctors, lawyers in their speed dial. Successful traders hang out with successful traders, period. And so I'm glad you're here, because you're good. Right now is the start of your journey to be in front of very successful traders. That's us. That's Market Traders Institute. So I think all of you have the trader seed. I'm glad you're here, because I believe every one of you are you're going to trade. And it is my job, my responsibility to hopefully have you trade with us so you can set yourself up for success rather than go out there and try to trade by yourself, because then if you go out there and trade by yourself, you're going to be donating money to me and to other professionals. It's just fact. This is a zero-sum game. For every winner, there's a loser. Whenever I win in my trade, somebody's got to lose. But I don't feel bad about that, because everybody else has the opportunity to go out and learn this business the right way. But too many people think they can go and open up an account and become a professional trader tomorrow because they have a little bit of money and they open up an account. Now they're starting to trade. Well, that's sad. It's sad. I trade against those people, and I end up taking their money, but it's a sad thing. But you know what? They have an opportunity. They should get educated. But the way you get educated, what you need to understand is you need a system. And what I mean by system is, I'm going to show you a very profitable, really, really amazing system today. It's called leveling. It's called the FX Finder, and it's one of those systems that I'm telling you, do not trade without. But what you really need to do is you need to save yourself stress, time, energy, and money, because this business, if you don't do it right, it will be the worst thing you've ever done in your life. Now, I don't want to scare anybody. I'm not in the camp of scaring you, but what I am here to say is, you're going to trade, and if you're going to trade, you better do it right. Because if you don't, it's going to be very stressful. It's going to suck a lot of your time, energy, and it's going to take a lot of your money. Now, again, there is a right way to do this, though. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And that's what these students right here have learned. Samson understands this. Samson's been with us for quite some time now. He made this week, he made 2,437 pips in that 1 week. Marcelo, and these are the type of students that sat in your guys' chairs at one time and decided, you know what, I want to get from the side of the novice, from the side of the person that's donating money to the market, I want to get on the side of the professional that's actually making money. Because you have to come to the conclusion that people are making money in this business. And if they are, you need to find them. We found them right here. And the coolest thing about what we do is that we're going to allow you to watch us trade. We're going to teach you everything we know, and you're going to be able to piggyback off of our trades as you're learning this business. So it's kind of earn as you learn. It's truly earn as you learn. It's really awesome. So Marcelo, 3,100 pips in 1 month. And really, that's going to be, by the end of this webinar, I want your expectations to be, whether you decide to join us or not. And if you decide to join us, then your expectations need to be, I'm going to make 3,000 pips every single month. Type a Y or yes in the question section if you would like to be able to conclude at the end of this, yep, I have a game plan and I have a way that I'm going to be able to generate 3,000 pips every single month. Every person in here should be typing yes, because if we can get you to the point of making 3,000 pips per month, then every single one of your financial fears, your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, they're all taken care of. Then it's just a matter of, it's like, okay, how many more trades can I find? How much more money can I fund to my account? Then it becomes really, really fun. And Lennox, 415 pips in the morning. Absolutely amazing, amazing stuff. Now I have a promise. This is my promise. This is really the only promise I'm going to make to you. Actually a couple promises within this one promise. One, I am who I say I am. I love this business. I've been around the block, and I'm going to tell you, if you're interested, I'm going to tell you exactly what I think you need to do to become a professional trader. Now, you can take that recommendation or not. It's up to you. Succeed in this business, and I've seen a whole lot of people fail, and I know the difference between the two. And I'm going to show you one of the paths and one of the ways that you can succeed wildly in this business in a fairly short amount of time. That another promise is this: I'm going to show you a real live account. I'm going to show you the actual strategies, the ins and outs of the strategy. I'm going to show you a very simplistic yet very powerful strategy that's up over 25,000 pips this year. That's averaging over 3,000 pips per month that you literally can have access to before the end of today, and that you could start in the class by tomorrow. It's going to be absolutely awesome. So let's just dive right in. Let's dive right in. Again, I can't see a whole lot of your questions, but I want to go. The title of this webinar was the pound rebound prediction, right? So I do want to focus on the pound. And I want to focus on the pound, and I got to tell you, anybody who's tried to pick a bottom in the pound over the course of the last 1, 2, 3 weeks has gotten hurt very bad. Very, very bad. And if you have been trying to pick a bottom in the pound and you've been wrong, well, I'm sorry to hear that. And today's your lucky day, because you're going to see a tool that I'm going to show you that I believe every person in here needs to have, that you shouldn't trade without or trade against. Okay? It's called the FX Finder. Now I'm going to walk you through real fast. I'm going to walk you through a process that I've done for many, many years. And then I'm going to tell you, you don't need to learn any of the process that I just went through, because there's a much simpler way. All right, so the process that I use is I need to first find direction. So this is a chart of the pound yen, and the pound yen is essentially you're trading one currency, one country's currency, Great British pound versus the Japanese yen. And so as I'm looking at this, I use a lot of Fibonacci sequences, and so this is the Fibonacci sequence down from this high that it put in mid to late 2015. This is the Fibonacci sequence down, and this is the process that I've used for years. So we know the market moves in waves. Market Traders Institute, we teach very strategically and systematically that the market moves in waves, and it moves in waves of A, B, C, D. Like, for example, this last wave down right here went A, B, C, and then the D extension is at 1618. It was the 1618. So now after it hit the D extension, it repeats. It starts over. A, B. Well, this is an interesting chart, and the reason this is an interesting chart is because, let me move this over to make sure everybody can see this. The reason this is an interesting chart is because we have a downward AB, but remember, market moves from A, B. We won't have a C retracement. Our C will be once price can rally up and hit the 382, then we'll have a bearish bias down. So right now, based on that, my bias or my direction I want to trade in would be to the upside. So what I do is I get my directional bias, or the direction I think the market's going to move in, based on my daily chart. And the way that I do it is somewhat complicated. Students struggle with it a little bit because I use what's called major AB sequences, and that can be a little difficult for students to understand. It can be a little difficult. Let me make sure. Okay, I just wanted to make sure people are seeing what I'm seeing. It can be a little difficult for people to understand and people to find. And so I'm going to show you the complicated way real fast. So now I know I need to be a buyer, and so now I go from the daily to a 60-minute. And what I do is I want to know that the 60-minute has the same bias, or has the same bullish stance as my daily. And if it does, then I've got something I'm interested in taking. Give me 1 second here. I've got to now go back and find, let me pull in more data. And here's the problem once again with some of my styling, and this is what I've been doing for 17 years. Some of the issues are, if I don't bring in enough data into the equation, then am I really looking at a true picture of what is? And that's an issue. That's an issue. And so this right here is, right here would be an AB sequence that I want to trade. And if I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, well, I got a bearish bias. I've got to be thinking to the downside. Well, that's an issue because I can't be thinking to the downside because remember, on the daily chart, we were thinking to the upside. So here's the problem with looking at this, a chart like this is, what do? Do I sit on my hands? I don't want to sit on my hands because I have a 60-minute downward bias, but I have a daily upward bias. So what do? Do I just flip to another chart? I don't have to. No, I don't have to. Historically, before, I would just normally flip to another chart. But because I know the daily chart and my rules the game, I'm pretty confident we're going to have a rally up to 38.27. And I don't want to just sit on my hands for a rally of 1,000 or 1,100 pips to the upside, because if I were able to get long right here and ride this up for 1,100 pips, that's $11,100 of profits on a standard lot. And by the way, I only need a $2,000 account to be able to take this trade. But here's the problem. If I'm just looking at this on a 60-minute chart, I can say, well, geez, it's maybe looking a little bearish. So what do? Do I sit on the sidelines, or should I pull some other data in? Should I get some confirmation? So historically, I would just normally sit on my hands with this, but not anymore. I'm not just sitting on my hands anymore. And the reason I'm not sitting on my hands on something like this is because, yes, I believe we're moving up to 38.27. I don't want to sit on my hands. Joshua Martinez has developed, designed, and launched what's called the FX Finder, which is part of the FX leveling course. So this is the FX leveling performance. And so now I'm going to go back to this trade in a second, but I want to show you the reason why I've switched from just being a trader that would normally in this picture sit on my hands to, wait a minute, I now have a tool that can get me into this trade and help me produce those 1,100 pips, 1,300 pips on the upside. This is the reason why I've decided to start adopting this, because Joshua Martinez, and this has been over the last few months, Joshua Martinez is up 25,000 pips since the beginning of this year. In fact, since February. If you're doing the math on that, that is over 3,000 pips. And if you're wondering what a pip is this is equivalent to anywhere from $10 a pip to all the way down to 10 cents, depending on the account size and depending on how big you want to trade. But if you were able to trade this with one standard lot, it'd be $10 per pip. We have traders that are up $1 from these trades from Joshua Martinez. And the coolest part about this is he trades this all with you. And so what does he do? So if I know that we're moving up, or I believe we're moving up to 38.27, and normally I'd have to sit on my hands, how can I participate? And how can I get into this trade? Well, I can use the leveling technique. And so I want to show you the way Joshua Martinez teaches his students how to trade. And what he does is he flips the charts kind of on their head. And a lot of times we've taught our students how to trade using candlestick formations. These are what's called candlesticks. As I mentioned, we're looking at the pound yen, and these are 1 hour candlesticks. So it's a representation of the 1 hour of price movement within the pound yen. Now, the issue with looking at candlesticks is it confuses students. They look at like huge wicks like this, and they're like, what do I do? I don't really know what to do, and they get confused. So Joshua Martinez has decided, and what he's done is he's mastered a way, instead of looking at candlesticks, he's mastered a way of looking at line charts. So now if I'm looking at these line charts and I get rid of all that kind of noise in the middle, those wick numbers, the most efficient numbers within the markets are the opens and the closes, and if I get rid of all kind of the noise in the middle, then you can clearly see that changing from a candlestick chart to a line chart cleans price action up dramatically. And now it's not as confusing. And so if I'm looking at this and I can say, okay, well, what if all I did over the last, let's say from the beginning of October, all I did was short trend line breaks, right? When market was moving up a little bit and it started breaking down, if that's all I did was short trend line breaks, then very simple question. Could I have made money shorting there, shorting here, shorting here, shorting here? The answer is yes, 100% yes. But here's the question that would be going through my mind, right? Because I believe that the people I'm speaking to right now are, you guys are intelligent. I don't want to insult your intelligence. The thing that would be going through my mind is, yeah, Tyson, but how did you know you were supposed to short, right? I mean, come on. How did you know? Because if you didn't know you were supposed to short, then how did you get into these trades? What if you didn't go short? What if you decided? What if you thought, you know what? I need to try to buy trend line breaks, and you try to buy there, and you try to buy there, and you try to buy here. You try to buy here. Well, then you can make the argument, well, Tyson, you would have lost a ton of money if you would have tried to buy these trend line breaks. And the answer is, yeah, you're absolutely right. That's the thing that would be going through my mind is, wait a minute, you didn't know. How did you know you were supposed to short or sell trend line breaks? Because before I show you this, isn't it this business really easy if we can answer the question in which direction is the market moving in? Type in a wire yes if you agree that if we can answer the very simple question of which direction is the market moving in, and we can go in that direction with a very high probability of success, then most of the time we should be able to make money, right? So direction is so vitally important because, as I mentioned, if somebody, and somebody was, I guarantee you, somebody was trying to buy these counter trend line breaks. Somebody was. Somebody was trying to buy here and trying to buy here and trying to buy here and trying to buy here, and they were losing a ton of money. Now, how did we know we shouldn't buy? How did we know that? And how did we know that we should be selling all counter trend line breaks to the downside? And we shouldn't be buying until very specific things happen. Well, I want to show you the most powerful indicator you'll probably ever see in your life. And this indicator right here is worth its weight in gold. It is one of the things that I've kind of dedicated myself where I don't want to trade against this because this is more successful. This indicator that I'm going to show you is more successful than I am at projecting and telling you which way the market's moving. And that's coming from a trader that's very successful. I'm a very successful trader. Yet what I'm about to show you is 10 times easier than what I do and better at projecting and forecasting where the market's going. So it's called the FX Finder, and it's a indicator that was developed by Joshua Martinez. And this indicator is about as simple yet powerful as you can get. And I'm going to bring in less because this is a very powerful strategy that I don't want to bog down my system here. But as you can see, if we're getting green arrows up, we buy. That's simple. If we're getting red arrows down, well, we need to sell. So now my question to you is, if you would have known that the FX Finder was painting red arrows down, yes or no, could you have shorted these trend line breaks until, well, you wouldn't have taken this one because now and then bought these trend line breaks. So bought here, sold here, sold here, sold here, and sold here. If you would have known, guess what? You trade in the direction of the FX Finder. And then you take trend line breaks in that direction. So just an FYI, there are a lot of Market Trader Institute students that are already in the pound yen long because of this recent trend line break right here. Because of this recent trend line break, they've been in this, and traders are up anywhere from probably anywhere from 100 pips to maybe, or 50 pips to 100 pips within this move right here. In the last day. So what does that mean? That if you would have had this strategy yesterday and you would have taken that long trade on that break of that trend line, you would be up $500 to $1,000 just today. And you could have done that with a $2,000 account. Or if you trade a mini lot, you could be up $50 to $100 with a $200 account. Now that is huge, huge profits in one day. And we can find these type of trades. This is what's called leveling strategy number 1, which is generates income, which focuses on generating income. So leveling strategy number 1 takes the FX Finder, only trades in the direction of what the FX Finder is telling you, and then buys and sells trend line breaks using line charts. So let me go back and let's kind of do some analysis on what this all means. So let's look at this last move down here. As the FX Finder was red, it was red all the way this whole time down. As it was red, all you got to do is ask yourself, yes or no, could you have came in here and sold trend line breaks as long as the FX Finder is red? Could you have sold all the trend line breaks on the downside and made a tremendous amount of money? And the answer is 100% yes. In fact, I'm not sure if any of you know, but the Great British Pound kind of had a flash crash last Thursday. And what I am very, very proud to report is the fact that the FX Finder students and leveling students should have, and a lot of them were short in the pound yen from that flash crash that happened right here. And even before that, absolutely brilliant. Now type in ME if you've heard about Brexit. Brexit was the British exit of the European Union. It was a big, big, big deal. It's a big deal. That's part of the reason, it's the main reason why the Great British Pound is selling off so much, right? Well, what if I told you that the FX Finder not only caught last week's flash crash, but also caught Brexit? What's interesting about this is the fact that you would have been long right before Brexit, and then right as Brexit started, you would have been short. Type in a wire yes if you see what I am talking about. This was Brexit. It caught all of the Brexit move. That is absolutely brilliant. So I wanted to show you those two because within those two trades, essentially this last flash crash right here that happened last week and Brexit, between those two big moves that the FX Finder found, students could have generated thousands and tens of, in fact, we had students generate, 5, 10, 15, 20, a ton of money on those moves that were ready, prepared, willing. The beautiful thing that I want to tell all of you is this: we are going to go into a market that is going to offer phenomenal volatility. The students that are ready, prepared, and educated with the right tools are going to make a tremendous amount of money. If you did your research, if you do research on the Great Depression, you do research on the tech bubble, you do research on the financial collapse, there were a lot of people that made a lot of money during that time because they knew what they were doing. I believe wholeheartedly that we are going to move into a very similar environment, and those that understand how to take advantage of moves like this and volatility that's coming in are going to make a tremendous amount of money. The FX Finder is going to be one of those strategies, and leveling is going to be one of those strategies that students use to be able to maximize their profits, minimize their risk, and make sure that they make a ton of money. So it's as simple as this. There's strategy number one focuses on income. It's about generating income today. Remember, we got to start thinking about how do you make money today? And I want you all to think about how do you make money today? So the way we focus on income is this. It's very simple. When the FX Finder is green, we wait for a pullback. We then draw a counter trend line, and we look for a counter trend line break higher, and we start to look to get long. So right now, if you were a leveling student and you had the FX Finder, you would wait patiently for price to come down. You would draw a counter trend line, look something like that, and then you would wait for price to come back up, break through that counter trend line, and at that time you would get long on the break. You would put your stop 10 to 15 pips, and this is all, Josh teaches all of this in the course, 10 to 15 pips below the low, and you put your target 3 times the risk. Because here's the deal, if we can get into this right here and we're risking, I'll just ask you a question. If I'm risking $1 to make $3, and I'm right, let's say 60% of the time, how much money am I making? You know what the answer is? You're minting money. Like let me say that again. If you make $3 for every dollar you risk and you're right 60% of the time, whoa, then all you're doing, you're waiting for that next opportunity. So how do you do it? How do you get to that point? Well, you make sure that you're using the tools the professionals have. The FX Binder is the most powerful. You make sure you pinpoint your entries using Joshua Martinez's technique, using line bars that he teaches you, and you make sure you have proper risk to reward. It's that simple. So traders right now that are generating income, that are looking to generate income with the pound yen, would be waiting for a low price, waiting for price to sell off slightly, pull in a counter trend line, wait for a counter trend line break, and start to generate income. And this trade will probably set up within the next 12 to 24 hours. Well, it has to set up within the next 24 hours, or else it moves us into next week. But chances are we'll get another income trade by tomorrow. And the last income trade, if you're wondering, well, what did the last trade produce for income traders? Well, there's income traders that would have been trading that trend line right there. They would have went long there. They would have put their stop they probably would have had about a 30 pip stop, possibly a 30 pip stop, and about a 90 pip target. And right about now, they'd be about 5 to 10 pips away from generating that 90 pips. And it would have taken them, if I'm doing the math here, and I'm looking how long this trade would have taken them, it would have taken them about 6 to 7 hours. How would it feel to generate $900 in one trade in 7 hours? That's what this trade did. That's an income trade. Now there's 3 strategies when it comes to leveling, and 3 strategies that Josh trades with you. 3 strategies he trades with you. Strategy number 1 I've already mentioned, which is income. And Josh trades this with all of his students 3 times a week, 2 hours a day, 3 times a week. He doesn't want to leave you by yourself. He wants to make sure that when he's making money, like when he's up 25,000 pips, he wants the students to be up that much also. Because here's the problem. If we're sitting here generating a bunch of income, but you're not, then we're not accomplishing our goals. Then we're not succeeding. Because it's not about our success, it's about your success. Because we know what we're doing. It's about your success, because we know, as a business, Market Traders Institute, we know that the more successful you become, the bigger fan you become of us, and then you're going to be out there talking to your aunts and uncles, and they're going to eventually become students. And that's what it's about for us. We grow our business, and a lot of times we do grow our business organically off of the success of our students, which is exactly the way that we want to, because we want you to be a raving fan of us. So that's the reason why Joshua Martinez decides to trade with his students. So the income strategy is absolutely awesome. Now I know we have a lot of people in here that may have adult responsibilities. You may be busy, right? You're busy working. You've got your 9 to 5. You've got kids or grandkids or other responsibilities. So you're like, well, Tyson, I don't have time to be in front of my screens 12 hours a day. Well, the leveling strategy, and neither does Josh. By the way, Josh is the Director of Student Success at Market Traders Institute, which means out of the thousands and thousands of students we have, he's kind of the go-to guy for, all of them pretty much. And so he has a lot of responsibility, and so he doesn't have time to be in front of his charts 12 hours a day. In fact, he didn't have time to be in front of his charts, longer than maybe an hour or 2. But you don't have to be. And that's exactly the way Josh developed his strategy. So there is, for those traders that want to generate the daily income, there's absolutely the way to do that. And this is just an example of one currency pair. But you're looking for that low price trend line break. That's income. Now there's also, and everybody needs to think about this, it's not just about income. Yes, generating income is great. But let me show you another example. I'm going to go to the pound dollar. It's also about wealth building. Wealth building. And so on the pound dollar, if you're wondering why did we label this webinar as the pound rebound? Well, very simple. The FX binder, which is one of the most powerful indicators that you'll ever see, is green on the pound dollar, it's green on the pound yen, and we're looking for ways and opportunities to take advantage of that. Now, students that have taken advantage of this last break, because we've got green arrows, you pulled in a counter trend line, there's a whole lot of students that started getting along right here, with probably about a 40, 50 pip, let's say probably about a 35 pip stop, probably about 110 pip target, so you're up about 75 pips right now. That's 2 trades. So that's income. Let me show you the wealth. So for those students that have adult responsibilities that are like, hey, you know what? I would love to be able to hook something up to my long-term portfolio. I'd love to be able to, get something where I can set it up and maybe have it automate for me. It can be kind of automated, and I can set this thing up, and it will buy and it will sell and it will get me in when I'm supposed to get in and out when I'm supposed to get out. Now, that before the advancement of technology, that was kind of a dream that was never really going to come to fruition until now. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you an example of the wealth building strategy, and this is in the pound dollar, and I'm going to exclude Brexit. I'm going to say after Brexit. So we're going to just hypothetically say that you became a leveling student after Brexit. And I'm going to show you how easy this is, because it doesn't get any easier than this. This is how easy it is. When you're getting red arrows down, you sell. When you start to get green arrows up, you stop, you reverse the position, and you go long. When you get green or red down, you stop, you reverse, you go short. Stop, reverse, long, reverse, short. That's all you do. So now what I want to do is I want to do the math. All right. Let's say that you started to trade as a leveling student right here. Let's say at the end of June, you're like, you know what? I'm going to join Joshua Martinez. I'm going to trade with him. Well, as you can see, I'll zoom in here. As you can see, the FX Finder was red. It started turning red. Oops. Zoom in. Sorry about that. So if that's the day you decided to start joining us and you're like, well, I've still got my full-time job and I still got to go work and I've got adult responsibilities and all that good stuff, well, it turned red there. And so you would have shorted here and you would have held it and you said, okay, well, I'm going to turn this on and I'm going to short here and I'm going to hold it until it turns green, and it turned green about right there. This was up 314 pips on that one trade. So let's say 314 or 315, 315 pips. Again, I'm going to explain what pips mean in a second. If you're like, well, what does that even mean? I'm not even sure what a pip is. You'll learn in a second here. Then, well, you're not done there, because remember, after it goes from red to green, you then, what do? You buy and you hold it until it turns red. Here, 260 pips, right up here, 260. This would have been good for about 260 pips. This is the wealth building strategy. All right, then you would have been short, and then you would have been long. Then, yep, you guessed it, you would have stopped. You would have stopped buying, and you would have started selling, and you would have just held the short position. And let's see the short position, red, and you would have just stayed in this entire position until, yep, until we turn, this went a little too far, until we turn green. So this, every once in a while, and it happens more often than even every once in a while, but every once in a while you'll get these home run trades. And so this was, it was, a pretty good trade. Down here it was great, but this trade here was good for about 300 pips. 300 pips. All you did was push the button. You held it until it turned green. Then once it turned green, you then bought, and you held that one until it turned red. So let's go and let's see what this next buy opportunity would have produced. 1 second. Adjust this so everybody can see. All right, so you started trading there. Let's just go to current price. All right, so this would have produced 300 pips, then you would have went long here, held it to there. That would have been about 240 pips. 240 pips. And then most recently, check this out. Most recently, you would have went short here down to, well, until probably, give or take about, the flash crash. But this would have been good for about 1,060 pips on the downside. 1,060 pips, if not more. Probably actually more than that, but 1,060 pips. And then most recently, you would currently be long, and you'd be long up probably about 60 pips in this current long position. And you wouldn't be sitting there sweating over, what do you do? Oh no, which direction do I trade? I'm not sure, I'm confused. No, there should be no confusion in this. You should know exactly which direction you trade in. And for the wealth building strategy, it's as easy as setting it up and letting it do its thing. It's like this, and I say this constantly. You need to set the trades up and get the heck out of the way and let the markets do what they're going to do. Because you know what? As a 17-year trading veteran, I can't outperform this. I can't do better than this. So since June 30th, in just the pound dollar, now this, if I pulled in the pound Aussie, the pound New Zealand, if I pulled in the other pairs, you would be blown away. But this is just one currency pair. You have made 315 pips, 260 pips, 300 pips, 240 pips, 1,060, and 60. And you're currently long, you're up 2,235 pips. So 2,235 pips since June 30th. You know how much that money that is? Well, on a standard lot equals $22,350. A trader would need a $2,000 account to trade that. I want you to think about that for a second. And I want you to think about how life-changing this business really can be. There are traders that literally could have set this up, shorted here, bought here, short, buy, short, and now they're long. Could have started with a $2,000 account at the end of June, set this up, and this can be automated. Have it build long-term wealth, and you would have taken 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'd be in your 6th trade, up 2,235 pips. And you could have set this up with $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 and had almost 10 times return on your initial account size. That should blow your mind. The currency markets are by far the greatest trading and investing vehicle you will ever find because there are no restrictions when it comes to in and out. There's no pattern day trading restrictions. The amount of leverage and margin that you're able to trade with is awesome, so the returns are amazing to you. Now, this is an example of one currency pair. I showed you how we generate income by using the short term. We have a lot of traders that do that. And almost every leveling student ties in the wealth building. And then there's strategy number 3, which is kind of ties everything together, which is Joshua Martinez's risk management formula that really just takes this whole leveling concept to another level. In fact, one of the main reasons why he developed this strategy was to solve this problem. Let me draw this out, and then I'm going to give everybody an opportunity in here to become a leveling student. But I want to draw this out. If you've ever been trading for any amount of time, then you've probably experienced this before, where you forecast and you look at the markets and you can see, okay, well, I need to start buying. And you start buying the markets and you think, you know what, the market's going to be going up, and you start buying the market. And you think everything's good, and you buy and you put your stop, the right place, 10 pips below the recent low, or 15 pips below the recent low. And you put your target, put your stop down here, and you do everything right? And you put your target 3 times up here, and you do everything right. And you're like, I'm good. I'm going to do everything right. This is the way that I watched YouTube. This is what YouTube showed me how to do. And then all of a sudden, the trade, it starts to go against you a little bit, and then maybe for you a little bit, and it starts to kind of toy with your emotions. But all of a sudden, price comes down and hits your stop, and now you're stopped out. You're no longer in the trade. And then you sit there and you cry in your Wheaties, and you're like, oh, I can't stand this business. All I do is lose. A few days, few weeks, few months later, you look at the market and you realize that, guess what? The market went exactly where you thought it was going to go, to the level, in the direction you thought it was going to go, to the level you thought it was going to go to. Type in a wire yes in the question section if that has ever happened to you. And if it has, I got to tell you, it's one of the quickest things to get you out of this business. I am telling you, you have to solve that problem, because that is like a double kick in the gut. Because one, you lost money. That's like a kick in the gut there. And 2, it's a kick in the ego, because You were right, yet you still lost money. I can't tell you how many times this used to happen to me before I learned how to trade professionally. In fact, it happened so many times that, oh man, it caused me so much pain because my wife was sick and tired of me telling her how good of a trader I was, and she would say every single time, every time I went, no, hey, Jamie, I'm really, really good. I know what I'm doing. You know what she'd say? Show me the money. Show me. The proof is in the pips. And I'd say, well, no, well, I can't. I'm down. I lost money. Well, if you're such a darn good trader, Tyson, then why in the world did you lose money? And so Josh decided that this was the number one reason why he developed this strategy. He said, listen, there are too many traders that forecast the market in the right direction, but they still lose money. So the idea is this: if you forecast the market in the right direction, then you need to make money. Like 70, 80, 90% of the time. Type in a wire yes if you agree. And so Josh came up with a strategy with the FX Finder and a formula to have traders do that. But here's the biggest, the most powerful thing, and here's why I think every person in here literally should drop everything else you're doing and be a leveling student, because Josh has solved this problem, and it's a problem that I really didn't think was solvable until I became a leveling student. And that's this. Josh said not only should traders make money if they forecast the market in the right direction, to the right level, but there's a way, especially with the currency markets, we should be able to be wrong every once in a while on the direction and the level of markets moving to, and still not lose a bunch of money. In fact, we should be able to be wrong and still manage the trade into a profitable trade as long as we're professional traders. Type in a wire yes or a me if you're like, whoa, wait a minute. There's a way that I can be wrong and I can still make money. Yes. Yes. And there is nobody better at it than Joshua. I've never seen anybody better than Joshua Martinez at managing risk, at trading, at understanding, even if I'm not right, how do I over time become right? By managing the trades professionally. It's amazing. So the leveling strategy offers three different concepts. One is income. Two is the long-term wealth. They're built off of the FX Finder. And three, which is the leveling formula, the technique that Joshua Martinez trades with you and shows you. He tells you exactly the trades he's going into, the currencies he's going into, and all three of them are encompassed within this amazing, amazing course. But it's not just a course. What I'm about to show you here now is not just a course. It's not just a magic buy sell. It's a course. It's a management technique, and it's a mentorship. So it is literally A to Z of everything you need to start generating the income you know you need to make, that you deserve to make right now. And you're, yes, risk free. I have an opportunity today to have you be able to get into this leveling course with absolutely zero risk to you. Now you might think I'm kind of crazy. You might think, well, what are you talking about, Tyson? How do you do this for zero risk? Well, here's how we're going to do it for zero risk. Before I go into the details, I want to just highlight the results, and I want you to think about what would these results mean to you. What if you would have been with Josh since February? What if you started with Josh and you're like, you know what, I'm gonna trade with Josh. What if that's what you did? You decided to start trading with Josh, and you start trading with him, and everything's good and everything's going well, and you're trading with him, and you made 25,000 pips since February. What if that was the case? Well, we have students that have done it. We have students that have done that exact thing. And this is not a small sample size. This is I used to develop a whole lot of automated strategies. And one thing that really bothered me is when somebody would come on and they'd be touting their performance and be like, hey, I'm a great trader. And then I would look into their performance and I'd realize that, no, wait a minute. They took 12 trades, 3 of them were huge winners, and the other, 9 were bad trades. What? Come on, dude, get out of here. No, this is a huge sample size. Joshua Martinez has taken 490 trades, so this is not small. This is big. And okay, well, how successful is he? And you winning trades is very important because this business is emotional. So you have to have a high percentage win rate, especially when you're first starting. If you don't, your chances of success are going to go down, because I haven't met a new trader in my life that would answer one of these two questions. If you would rather be a trader that wins $10 for every and risks $1. So you risk $1, you win $10, but you're only right 20% of the time? Or would you rather be the trader that risks $1 to make $2 or $3, but you're right 70% of the time? Well, bottom line is both of them might be pretty close to the same profitability, but I can tell you this right now: most traders emotionally cannot. They can see, yeah, the math says the trader that's right 20% of the time, that's good. I'll be that guy because he's making money. No, emotionally, you probably can't take that. So that's the beautiful thing about what Josh has created here, is he's created something that not only is amazing, that mints money, but it wins at a very high rate, 72% of the time. Joshua Martinez is averaging 200 pips every single day. This is amazing. All the days that he trades with the students, which is 3 times per week, he's averaging 200 pips. So here's what we're going to do. I need everybody in this room to please pay attention. Please pay attention. This is the FX leveling course, and I just want to make sure everybody understands that I don't normally do, I've said this already, but I don't normally do presentations in front of non-Market Trader Institute students. So it's a pleasure to be here. One of the reasons I don't do presentations in front of non-Market Trader Institute students is actually because I choose not to do a whole lot of them, because I love this business. I've dedicated my life to this business. And one of the most frustrating things that I go through is if I try to do non-Market Trader Institute presentations, and I give you the cure to all your trading problems. I see you walking towards a ledge and gonna probably fall off that ledge as a trader, and I am showing you a solution, and I know there's only so much I can do. I can only take a horse to water. I can't force that horse to drink, right? Not to attribute you guys as a horse, but that's part of my frustration. That's a lot of the reasons why I've decided that I don't do a whole lot of presentations in front of non-Market Trader Institute students. But I decided I wanted to do this one because this is such a no-brainer. And not only that, but we've done so much to hopefully get you to say, yes, this is what I've been looking for. This is the way that I can start generating income. This is the ticket to unlock all of your dreams, your aspirations, to solve your financial problems. And I can't overstate that, because here's the deal. All of that is true if you learn how to trade successfully. If we can get you to 3,000 pips per month, every single one of your goals, dreams, aspirations taken care of. Now, here's what you're going to get in this course. You're going to get everything. You're going to get everything. You're going to get our charts. You're going to get the course. You're going to get Joshua Martinez holding your hand and mentoring you directly. It's going to be amazing. There's going to be no excuses for you guys not to become successful at this. But you got to make a decision. This is for today only. It comes with the 3 strategies, which is the income strategy, generate income today, right? How do we start now? It comes with the wealth building strategy. How do I set it up, set and forget, let this thing manage my long-term portfolio and sit there and generate huge amounts of money while I'm off doing my own thing? That's amazing. One of the greatest things you can do in this business is make money while you're sleeping or on vacation. That's always a really fun thing. Well, FX Finder, the leveling course, will get you there. You get unlimited access to the class itself. We are going to take care of you. This says the ultimate charts for 2 months. No, we're going to do better than that. I'm going to blow the doors off of this thing. We are going to give you the ultimate charts, this charting package right here, through the end of the year. We're going to take every excuse you may have to say, oh, I don't know. And we're basically going to say, listen, we have the access. We have the key to your success. It's right here. Here it is. Here's the key. Now, we don't want you to have any excuses not to do it, so we're going to do everything we can to take that excuse away and put the risk on us. So here's what we're going to do. I am going to throw in some things that I think we're kind of losing our mind to throw these things in, but here's what we're going to do. On top of the course itself, on top of getting the FX Finder, the charts, I'm going to do 2 things, 2 additional things. One, when you decide to go into this course, you're going to get access to Joshua Martinez and his mentorship 3 times every single week, 2 hours every single session until the end of the year. Now, I want you to think about what that means. Every trade within this account right here, this is a real live account. Every trade that's been taken, this 25,000, has been done within this trading room. So if you were with him since February, you would have generated 25,000 pips. It's the same room that he's going to be teaching and guiding and mentoring you on. He's going to be showing you exactly what he's doing. if you understand, and here's the expectations that everybody out there has or should have. If you decide to do this course, your expectation should be to generate between 500 and 1,000 pips every single week, and you don't have to do it on your own. Our goal is to have you generate that income while you're with Josh. Let the master fisherman himself, Joshua Martinez, teach you, give you the right pulls, give you the right bait, show you the right ponds to fish in, and then at the end of the year, you're ready to launch. But before that, you've made a ton of money. You've paid for the entire course by itself. You've made a huge return off of your investment. We're going to make it even better. We have a lot of students within this trading room that have purchased just this trading room by itself. Just this trading room. And they paid $1,000 per month. You're not going to pay a dime for it, though. It's all going to be included. You're going to be able to be with Josh until the end of the year. You're not going to be alone. You're going to be able to be with the man who's generated 25,000 pips. But to make it even better, and this right here kind of puts it over the top. To make it even better, we're going to do something even like that just kind of blows me away. That makes it really where there isn't one student in here, one person in here that shouldn't do this. We're going to guarantee it. We're going to guarantee it. Meaning, if we don't show you at least 400 pips, which is $4,000 on a standard lot, if we don't show you 400 pips of opportunity, we will give all of your money back. You have nothing to lose. We are so confident that this leveling strategy will work for you and is everything you've been looking for as a trader and an investor, that if we don't show you 400 pips over the next 60 days of opportunity, it costs you nothing. So I want you to think about that. You're able to consume our education, take all of our products, do all of this, and you could eventually pay nothing for all of this. So here's how we're going to do it, and I'm going to show you this link. We are going to, give me a second, I'm going to get this link here. I am going to send a link or a text to you guys in a second. If I can find it. I'm going to send a text to you guys, and you're going to be able to send a text in, and you're going to get a code. You're going to get a code within that text, and you're going to get a website that's very special to this group. Very special. And so what I want you to do right now, every single person in here, there isn't one person in here, I want you to type in your phone number with the word code right now. And when you do, one of two things is going to happen. You can either take the step yourself and go and text this number, 321-234-3314, and text the word code to that number. And when you do, it's going to send you a special link with all the discounts. You're going to get the leveling course. You're going to get the 3 months of the charts absolutely free, which is a $750 value, and you're going to get the leveling mentoring room, which is a $2,400 value, absolutely free. So instead of paying $6,145, instead of paying that, you're going to be able to sign up for all of this with the 60-day 400 pip. That's a $4,000 guarantee with the 60-day guarantee when you text this number, 321-234-3314. So here's what I want you to do. If you plan on texting, I want you to type in your phone number with the word code right now. If you are not quite sure, and the cost of that is $1,995 for all of it. If you are not quite sure about being able to spend $1,995 all up front, that's okay. We don't want anybody in this room, not one person in this room. We don't want any of you to miss out on this opportunity. We don't want any of you to trade alone. We want to mentor you. We want you to have access to this FX leveling course. We want to show you how to generate an amazing amount of money. So we have an option B, which is guaranteed financing. We will guarantee your financing. Every single person is approved. We can work out a payment plan. Now, you won't get as steep of a discount, but you will still have access to the entire package, the entire course. You'll still have access to Joshua Martinez. We will still do the 60-day 400 pip guarantee. And if you do the math on that, and this is why it's such a no-brainer to me. If you do the math on that, if we don't show you 400 pips, if all you did was piggyback off of what Joshua Martinez does, and all you did was take those trades, and we don't show you 400 pips worth of opportunity, then you ask for your money back, and we give it back to you. And so what you've now just done is you've spent 60 days with a professional trader, absorbing all his education, absorbing all he knows how to do, having him show you his trades, and learning a whole lot, and you can end up asking for your money back. I think we've lost our mind, but we're doing it because we're confident. We're confident you're going to love this. So again, I want to encourage, I want to ask, and I want to challenge every person in this room. Type in your phone number with either the text code to let us know that you're going to use, and you're going to text that number, that 321-234-3314 right now, and you'll get sent a special link that it will count down. Essentially, it'll give you an opportunity to be able to lock this in. You could type in your phone number with the word text or the word code to let us know on that, or that's okay if you're not quite sure how you want to work the finances out. We don't want to leave anybody behind, not anybody. We don't want to leave any single person in this room behind. So we want to work out payment plans with you. We want to work out how we can get you into this course. The course starts tomorrow, and we don't want anybody trading alone. There are too many people out there trading and investing, trying to make money in this business, and they sit there and they lose because they don't know what they're doing. Now, I think you guys are here for a reason, and I believe that this is, and I know wholeheartedly, this is the path you need to take. Now, some of you, and I'm going to be ending here real soon, but I do want to thank those that have typed in their phone number in a minute. But I want to kind of help you get off the fence if you're thinking, I don't know, can I really do this? I had a question in the question section of asked, is this for beginners? This is for everybody. In fact, this is like the one strategy that I think is something that advanced traders should trade and new traders should start with, simply because it doesn't get any easier than green arrows or red arrows. It doesn't, and it doesn't get any more powerful than that. And to get access to this right away, literally today, you can get access to this, is amazing. But here's what I want to show you. These are testimonials from real students. These are testimonials that we get. We get these type of testimonials. Josh does every single day. Every day he gets stuff like this. And I want you to look. These are from different students. These are all different names. Look at this. 319 pips. 780. What does that mean? 780 pips means $7,800 on a standard lot. Wow. 330. 60. Look at this. 500. And I can go on and on and on and on. This happens constantly. These are all different. 380, 255, 266. Imagine yourself being in there. And yeah, VJ says, can I work out a payment plan? Absolutely. I think the biggest disservice you can do right now to you and yourself is to not type in your phone number with either the word code or type in your phone number with option B. Because what it means when you type in your phone number, even with option B, and you think, you know what, I need some payment plans. What it tells us is that, you know what, you know that there are really successful professional traders that are willing to help you. That's Joshua Martinez. That's Market Traders Institute. We're willing to help, and we're willing to do what we have to show you how to generate amazing income. We don't want to leave anybody behind. The worst thing you can do is let this webinar end without typing in your phone number. Another thing that I want to say is this. When you do type in your phone number, it doesn't mean we're automatically swiping your credit card. I think some people get afraid to type in their phone number, and they think, oh no, no. What it means is you're going to have a conversation with us. What it means is you're going to be on record saying, hey, I want the mentorship. I want the class. I want the mentorship from Josh. And you know what? I want to see if I can't do, and I want the 400 pip guaranteed. If I can't do the one-time payment of $19.95, which is the way I would, because I'd want to save money. But if I can't do that, then you know what? I want to see what type of down payment I can do, what type of payment plans I can do. Because here's the thing. I think there are students, and I'm confident in this, there are students that are going to get a return on this investment tomorrow. Tomorrow. Joshua Martinez is going to have the course starting tomorrow. He's going to show you in that course his core trades that he's in right now. And there are students that are going to be able to structure their portfolios and literally make a return, or structure it where they make a return, maybe not tomorrow, but into early next week, because now you're starting to generate income. Because if you think about it, if tomorrow is the first session, Josh averages 200 pips per session. You could make $2,000 tomorrow. So again, I want to encourage, I want to challenge, and I want to ask every person in here, not one person in here shouldn't be typing in their phone number with one of the options, and at least have a conversation with us. And I want to thank those that have. Doug, thank you. Got your phone number. Moshe, thank you. I've got your phone number. Janny, I saw you come through. Thank you. I've got your phone number. Aaron, I saw you. Jeff, thank you. I've got your phone number with option B also. Now remember, one of those things, if you want to go right to the front of the line, you want to guarantee your spot in tomorrow's course, and you want to start all of this, like remember, I said it's about earning money, getting to the process of saying, hey, how do I make money today? How do I make money today? We got to start thinking today. If you know you want to jump in and you know you want to have that guarantee, because there's nothing for you to lose, everything for you to gain. You either make life-changing money and we show you how to do this consistently, or you get your money back. So if you know you're one of those, then what I would do is I'd text that code, I'd go to that special website, and I'd sign up. I would get in the front of the line, I'd say, let's start rocking and rolling. I am tired of bumping along. I'm tired of spinning my wheels and thinking I know how to trade. It's time to really, really kick this thing into high gear and start trading like a pro. We're going to get you there. So, Jared, thank you for that. I got your name. I got it. That's awesome. Hey, everybody, listen. I thank you guys for your time. I'm excited for every single person in here. I've spent 17 years of my life mastering this business, and now, kind of bittersweet. For you guys, it's sweet. For me, I'm like, geez, I learned a whole lot of stuff that I didn't necessarily have to learn, because with the FX leveling, with the FX Finder, really the reality is all you have to do is trade with that. You don't have to do the detailed analysis that I do. You can generate the income you need to generate and build the wealth you need to build. It's absolutely amazing. And Ben, I see your questions about deposits with the broker. If you guys have questions about different brokers, different things that we can do, if you have questions about anything, please don't let this webinar end without typing your phone number in. Even if you have some questions, type your phone number in with a question mark. We'll have a conversation. We'll see what we can do. If there's a will, there's a way. We'll see what we can do to help you get involved in this and help you get in the course tomorrow. So, all right, everybody. Hey, listen, I'm going to end there. Again, I thank you guys for your time. It's been fun. I look forward to seeing all of you in the client webinars, and we'll start generating some money. I'll keep this open for a few more minutes. You still have time to type in your phone number with one of the options or with code. Thanks, everybody.